जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदनंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यशोदनंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यमुना तीरवनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी जय राधा माधव राधा माधव जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः नमः ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे Hare Krishna. My humble obeisances to all the devotees assembled here. My sincere thanks to Ujjvala Vigraha Prabhu and all the organizers of this session. I was asked to give a quick overview of the Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita is considered the essence of all Upanishads. Sometimes it is also called Gita Upanishad. It has 18 chapters divided into 3 sections. Each section has 6 chapters, and in each section Krishna is highlighting one prominent theme. The first section, Karma Yoga. Second section, Bhakti Yoga. Third section, Jnana Yoga. Bhagavad Gita is compared to a beautiful gem-studded jewel box. Now the box has a lid and a bottom, a base, and inside that there is the jewel, the content. So the bottom portion is the last 6 chapters. The bottom portion is the first 6 chapters, Karma Yoga. The lid is the last 6 chapters, Jnana Yoga. The inside jewel is Bhakti, middle 6 chapters. This comparison is made by Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur in his commentary called Sarartha Varshini commentary on the Bhagavad Gita. Now we will see a quick outline of all the chapters. It's an ambitious plan to cover 18 chapters of Bhagavad Gita in 1 hour. Krishna did it. I don't know. The organizers want me to imitate Krishna or what? He finished within 1 hour. He also finished in 1 hour. Because he spoke only shlokas. He didn't give translation and purport. Arjuna understood directly shlokas. We can recite shlokas. Then also we can't complete in 1 hour. Anyways, the first chapter of Bhagavad Gita describes Arjuna's confusion. In the beginning, Dhritarashtra makes an inquiry. He asks Sanjaya, Dhritarashtra uvacha, Dharma kshetre kurukshetre samaveta yayutsavaha mamakaha pandavaschiva kima kurvata Sanjaya. He says, after my sons and Pandu's sons assembled at the holy place of Kurukshetra with a deep desire to fight, what did they do? This is working now. Hare Krishna. This is better, much better. Hari Hari. So Dhritarashtra is very selfish and he considered Pandavas his brother's sons, which is correct, but he never considered them as his own sons. Although they respected him like a father. A lot of echo. Do something, please. Hare Krishna. Although Pandavas were very respectful to Dhritarashtra as their father, but he always wanted to eliminate them, and he was supporting the plans of Duryodhan, Dushyasan, Karna, Shakuni to somehow eliminate the Pandavas, but that brought the situation where both parties have to meet on the battlefield, and Dhritarashtra made this inquiry. Then Sanjay started explaining. On the battlefield, Duryodhan went to Dronacharya and compared his army and Pandava's army. Although he had some fears in his heart, he hid those fears and he explained that yes, my army led by Bhishma is in a better situation compared to their army led by Bhima. Then conch shell blew, and when the Pandavas blew their conch shells, that shattered the hearts of all the Kauravas. But when people on the side of Duryodhan blew their conch shells, nothing happened to the Pandavas. Then Arjuna and Krishna appear on the scene. Arjuna requests Krishna, Krishna, please take my chariot between both the armies. And Krishna takes the chariot between the two armies. And Arjuna sees all his relatives and he becomes overwhelmed with emotions. How can I fight with my own relatives? And he gives several reasons why he cannot fight. Finally, he casts aside his bow. Govinda, I shall not fight. Then in the second chapter, beginning, Krishna chastises Arjuna. Klaibyam masmagamaha partha naitatvayupapadyate kshudram hridaya daurbalyam tyakto tishtaparantapa. Where did you get this petty weakness of heart? Get up, fight. This is hridaya daurbalyam. It doesn't cause any fame, but it causes your infamy. And in this hour of crisis, you are supposed to be very alert in fighting your enemies, and you are saying, oh, they're my relatives, I cannot fight. He chastises. Then Arjuna further expresses his doubts and confusion and says, Krishna, I cannot come out of this confused state of mind. I accept you as my Guru. Karpanya doshopahatas svabhavaha pruchhami tvam dharma sammudha cheta. I'm completely confused about my duty. Yaha shreyasya nishchitam bruhitan me sishyasteham shadhimam tvam prapannam. He says, whatever is good for me, you suggest. I'll just follow. I accept you as my Guru. I am your disciple. Please speak. Then Krishna assumes the role of a Guru. Then from 11th shloka till 30th shloka, Krishna explains Atma Tattva, the difference between body and soul. Dehinosmin yatha dehe kaumaram yavanam jara tatha dehantara praptihi dhiras tatra namuhyati. The embodied living being is different from the body itself. So body is temporary and soul is eternal. Body is never alive, soul is ever alive. So Hare Krishna. That's the essence of this section called Jnana section. Then from another perspective, Krishna says, Krishna, Arjuna, you said there will be no enjoyment in this victory. Even if you win this war, there will be no enjoyment. That's your conception. But please understand, whether you win or lose, you will enjoy. This is Sakama Karma perspective, where you work for enjoyment. He says, if you lose in this fight, means if you die in this fight, you will go to Swargalok and enjoy there. If you win, you will enjoy the prosperous kingdom of Hastinapur. So enjoyment is guaranteed. But a higher perspective than this Sakama Karma, means working for enjoyment, is Nishkama Karma, working with detachment. Krishna says, Sukha dukhe same kritva labha labho jaya jayo tatho yuddhaya ujjasva naivam papam apsasi. Whether it gives you sukha or dukha, jaya or apajaya, labha or loss or gain, you fight for the sake of fighting. That means you are doing your prescribed duty despite the nature of result. So you better do your duty, that will not give you any sin. Earlier you said that if I kill so many people, I will incur sin, but you will incur sin if you avoid performing your duty. Then Krishna elaborately describes Nishkama Karma Yoga. He introduces the concept of yoga. He says, Neha vikramana sosti pratyavayo na vidyate svalpamapyasya dharmasya trayate vahato bhayat. You perform this yoga, my dear Arjuna, and while performing this yoga, you need to have proper balance and equanimity. Samatvam yoga uchyate. Whether the performance of your duty brings you happiness or distress, you have to perform your duty. That is called equanimity, and that is yoga. And Krishna speaks so many other things about tolerance and equanimity. Matra sparshasta kaunteya, that is in the beginning section. So, after explaining Nishkama Karma Yoga elaborately, then Krishna comes to Sthita Prajna's qualities. Who is Sthita Prajna? Prajahati yada kaman sarvan parthamanogatan. Sthita Prajna is one who is situated in his wisdom. He doesn't deviate from that wisdom, and whatever happens, he'll continue his duty with perfect intelligence. You be like that. Don't be swayed away by the external dualities in this world. Then Arjuna had another question in the beginning of the 3rd chapter. Arjuna says, Krishna, in the 2nd chapter you said, Durena yavaram karma. You stay far away from abominable activities. This fight is an abominable activity. So why are you asking me to fight? Why do you want me to engage in this ghastly war? Then Krishna said, I never said that fighting is abominable activity. I only said performing activities, your duties, for the sake of enjoyment with an expectation of result, that is abominable. But performing your duty in a detached mindset is not abominable. I never asked you to avoid work. I only asked you to work with detachment. Right? I never asked you to give up work. Give up your attachment to the results of work. Karma sannyasa is not sannyasa of karma. It is spirit of sannyasa in karma. Means not giving up work itself, but not being detached from work itself, but maintaining a spirit of detachment while doing your work. That's what I told. That is karma yoga. But there are some people who are qualified to give up their work. Who are they? They are jnana yogis. Means they have so much detachment, they don't need to work anymore. But there are some people, they still have some material desires. They are not yet purified of their material desires. Such people, if they artificially give up working, give up their prescribed duties, and artificially take to renunciation, as you have proposed, I will go and beg. Then what happens is, apparently they will live a renounced life, but internally they will meditate on all kinds of material desires. Such people are called mithyacharis, pretenders. Don't be a pretender. Premature renunciation I am never endorsing. If you want to renounce, that's bona fide, renounce after you completely give up all material desires and attachments and inclinations. But without sufficient purification of the heart, without giving up material desires, if you prematurely and artificially take to renounced order, that can make you a pretender. Please don't do that. And Krishna also explains the cycle of sacrifice there. I am the one who created Prajapatis and the Devatas and the human beings earlier. Then he describes the cycle of sacrifice, and he describes the spirit of working as a sacrifice, as an offering to the Lord. In the 9th shloka, 3rd chapter, he says, Yagnarthat karmanonyatra lokoyam karma bandhanah tadartham karma kaunteya mukta sangaha samacharaha. You perform your duty as an offering to the Supreme, then you will not incur any sinful reaction. But if you avoid your duty, you will incur sin. Or perform your duty with a spirit of detachment or spirit of enjoying the results, then also you will incur sin. Right? Working with attachment to results can give you some sin. And completely avoiding work also can give you sin. But performing work in a spirit of detachment and devotion to the Supreme Lord can relieve you from all sinful reactions. Work for me. He says that. And later, Krishna also talks about lust. What is the 30th shloka? Mayi sanyasya matparaha. 3.30. Can someone tell me? I'm not recollecting. Anyways, no problem. There Krishna says, you offer everything to me, and Mayi sanyasya means, sanyasya means giving up results. Mayi sanyasya means you give up results, but that giving up is not just staying away, but offering that results to me. Then Krishna also talks about lust. In this material world, people are obliged to, people perform so many activities out of attachment, as if they are obliged, as if they are forced. It is only because of lust. So you should avoid lust. Lust is there in heart, lust is there in mind, senses, and intelligence. You need to avoid it, especially if you want to perform yoga. Then in the 4th chapter, Krishna talks about transcendental knowledge. First he says that this transcendental knowledge or spiritual knowledge descended in parampara. Evam parampara praptam imam rajarshayo viduhu sakaleneha mahata yogo nashtaha parantapa. Means this knowledge descended in parampara, but somehow with the passage of time, the knowledge is lost. Therefore, I am giving this knowledge to you again, once again. Then Krishna speaks knowledge about himself. He says that Janma karma cha me divyam evam yo vetti tatvatah tyaktva deham punarjanma naiti mameti sorjuna. My appearances and activities are divine. One who understands the divinity of my appearance and activities will never take birth in this world again after their death. Then Krishna also says why he descends, when he descends. Paritranaya sadhuna vinashaya cha dushkritam dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. He gives 3 reasons for his descent. And what is the time of his descent? Whenever dharma declines and adharma increases, to reverse the situation, Krishna comes. Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata. Then Krishna also says how he operates with different people. Ye thamam prapadyante tam sataiva bhajamya. And later Krishna also describes Brahmarpanam Brahmahavir Brahmagno Brahmanahutam Brahmaivatena Gantavyam Brahma Karma Samadhina. In this section, Krishna talks about karma in akarma and akarma in karma. Karma basically means action. Karma can also mean reaction to an action. In that sense, akarma means not performing your action. That's one meaning. Akarma also means performing an action without incurring a reaction. Got it? Akarma has 2 meanings. Because karma has 2 meanings, akarma also has 2 meanings. Karma is action. Akarma is not performing action. If karma is reaction, akarma is performing an action without incurring a reaction. And this akarma Krishna wants us to do. If you perform an action without attachment to the result, it's as good as akarma. But if you perform karma with attachment to results, then you will incur karma, reaction. So, thus, although you perform karma, it's as good as akarma. That is akarma in karma. So, you offer, whatever you do, you make it as an offering to the Supreme. Consider that you are a spiritual person offering spiritual offerings into a spiritual sacrifice for the satisfaction of the Supreme to attain a spiritual destination. That is Brahmarpanam Brahmahavir Brahmagno Brahmanahutam. Then Krishna describes different types of sacrifices done by different types of people. Brahmacharis do sacrifice of self-control. And Grihasthas do some sacrifice of sense enjoyment, offering senses into enjoyment as a part of service, their service. And also there is Brahmacharis also do Swadhyaya Yajna, means they study scriptures. Like that he describes several sacrifices, and the end result of all these sacrifices is attaining knowledge, transcendental knowledge. And to attain knowledge, we need to have Shraddha. Shraddhavan labhate jnanam. That's how Krishna concludes the chapter. Then in the 5th chapter, Krishna goes little deeper into this karma yoga. And he says, Brahmanyadhaya karmani sangam tyaktva dhananjaya lipyatena sa papena padma patramivam bhasa. Brahmanyadhaya karmani, if you perform all your karmas for the satisfaction of the Supreme Brahman, Supreme Lord, sangam tyaktva dhananjaya, by giving up your attachment to results, then lipyatena sa papena, such people will not be affected by any papa, sin. Padma patramivam bhasa, just like a water drop on lotus leaf. Then he also talks about a wise person, Vidya Vinaya Sampanne Brahmani Gavihastini Shunichaiva Swapakecha Panditaha Samadarshinaha. Pandit, or a wise person, sees a Brahmana or a cow or an elephant or a dog or dog eater on an equal plane, because Paramatma is there in all of them. Materially speaking, our bodies are made of earth, water, fire, ether. Spiritually speaking, we are all part and parcels of Krishna. Thus, all of us are same in one sense. But not in a literal sense, all of us are same. There is difference. But there is unity in diversity. A wise person sees that spiritual oneness amongst all living beings behind their material differences. Material bodies are different, material natures are different, but spiritually all of them are same souls. Then in the 6th chapter, Krishna explains Ashtanga Yoga. Ashtanga Yoga is basically Dhyana Yoga, which is performed in 8 stages. Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayama, Pratyahara, Dharana, Dhyana, Samadhi. Yama, Niyama means rules and regulations that we need to follow. Asana means sitting postures. Then Pranayama means breathing exercises. Pratyahara means withdrawing your mind and senses and focusing on the Lord. Then comes Dharana. Dharana is preliminary stage of meditation. Dhyana is the real stage of meditation. Samadhi is the advanced stage of meditation, where you go into trance. But Krishna also says this is very difficult to perform. Actually, Arjuna says very difficult to perform. Krishna also says in the beginning of the 6th chapter, mind is the pivot in Ashtanga Yoga or Dhyana Yoga. If you control the mind, it's your friend. If you can't control your mind, it's your enemy. So, Krishna gives some mind control tips. Then he explains the details of Ashtanga Yoga, the beginning stages and the advanced stages, Aruruksha, all the stages. Then Krishna says how to control the mind. Yato yato nischalati manaschanchalam sthiram tatastato niyamyetat atmanyeva vasham nayet. Wherever the mind wanders, bring it and focus it on Krishna, on your dhyana. That's required. But Arjuna says, I cannot focus. My mind is so restless. Chanchalam himanaha Krishna pramathi balabadrudham tasyaham nigraham manye vayo riva sudushkaram. My mind is chanchal, extremely restless. I can control wind, but I cannot control mind. Then Krishna says, Abhyasena tu kaunteya vairagyena cha grihyate. I understand, Arjuna, asamshayam mahabaho mano durnigraham chalam. It's very difficult to control the mind, but if you do practice, abhyasa, and if you are detached from things that are distracting you, vairagya, then you can easily control the mind. Abhyasa and vairagya. Then Krishna concludes this 6th chapter by saying that amongst all the yogis, who is the best yogi? In every single chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna gives a bhakti perspective. In the 5th chapter, although we didn't discuss, let me just go back for a moment. In the 5th chapter ending, Krishna says, Bhoktaram yajna tapasam sarva loka maheshwaram suhridam sarva bhutanam gnatva mam shanti vrichyati. I am the Bhokta, I am the supreme enjoyer. Sarvaloka Maheshwaram, I am the supreme proprietor of all planets. Suhridam Sarva Bhutanam, yet I am the genuine well-wisher of all living entities. One who understands this will attain complete peace. And now at the end of 6th chapter, he says, Yoginam api sarvesham madgaten antaratmana shraddhavan bhajate yo mam same yukta tamomata. Of all yogis, one who constantly meditates upon Krishna within his heart with devotion is the best yogi. Shraddhavan bhajate, with great faith they have to do bhajan of Krishna, they have to serve Krishna. That's how Krishna concludes the first section by highlighting bhakti at multiple places. In the first chapter, Krishna's Bhaktavatsyalyata is seen in his taking up the role of a chariot driver of Arjuna. In the 2nd chapter, Krishna emphasized on bhakti by saying Neha Bhikramana Swasti. And also he said, Traigunya Vishaya Veda Nistraigunyo Bhava Arjuna. All the Vedas are talking about 3 gunas. You rise above 3 gunas, become Nistraigunya, O Arjuna. And that which is beyond the 3 gunas is bhakti. And in the 3rd chapter, 30th sloka he says, Mai sarvani karmani sanyasya chetasa nirashir nirmamo bhutva yuddhasva vigatajvaraha. Mai sarvani karmani sanyasya. You offer all your activities to me and perform your activities in spiritual consciousness. And in the 4th chapter, Krishna speaks a lot about bhakti. Paritranaya sadhona vinashaya dushkritam. All that. He speaks about his own qualities. And he also says, Tadviddhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya. Means you go to a guru, he will teach you about bhakti. Then in the 5th chapter and 6th chapter, we discuss the bhakti shlokas. Thus, bhakti is there in all the 6 chapters of Bhagavad Gita, the first 6 chapters also. Although essentially, all the 6 chapters are conveying the same message that karma yoga you need to follow. Right? Essence is bhakti, but the prominent theme is karma. Karma yoga means work with a detachment. Jnana yoga, that is for mature people, but you better follow karma yoga. And even if you are qualified for Jnana yoga, you perform karma yoga only to set an example for others. He says that in the 3rd chapter. So that's the gist of the first 6 chapters. In the middle 6 chapters, 7 to 12, Krishna goes deeper into bhakti. In the 7th chapter, Krishna says how he is the source of all energies, material energy and spiritual energy. First, Krishna says, you hear from me. Tat shrunum. If you hearing, Shravanam is the first step. Then he speaks about Bhumirapo nalo vayuh khammano buddhirevacha ahankara iti yamme bhinna prakritirashthada. He says, earth, water, fire, air, ether, and mind, intelligence, and ego. These are the 5 plus 8, 5 plus 3 gross and subtle elements, material elements. They came from me. They are my separated energy. Then later he says about spiritual energy, about the soul. Apareyamitastvanyam prakritim vidhi me param jiva bhutam mahabaho yayedam dharyate jagat. Apart from this material energy, I also have spiritual energy, that is jivas. After describing that he is the source of all material and spiritual energies, Krishna says, while living in this material world, how to perceive him, how to see him, how to be conscious of him. He says, Rasohamapsu kaunteya prabhasmi shashishuryayoh. I am the taste of water. I am the shine of sun and moon. And I am the fragrance of earth, punyo gandhaha prithivyam cha tejas chasmi vibhavaso. I am the strength of all strong people. So he gives a big list of how he is present in every nook and corner of the entire creation. Mattaha parataram nanyat kinchidasti dhananjaya mai sarvamidam protam sutre manigana iva. There is no one superior to me, Krishna says. There is no one superior to me. Mattaha parataram nanyat kinchidasti dhananjaya. You compare everything in the universe to be like beads on your necklace, maybe flowers here. And Krishna is the invisible string behind that. And Krishna says how he is the essence of all processes. And Krishna also talks that 4 types of people connect with me. Sukritinaha means 4 types of pious people connect with me. Who are they? Arto jignasur artharthi gnani cha bharatarshava. And later Krishna also says about 4 types of people who don't connect with him. Namam dushkritino modha prapajyante naradhama mayayapaharta gnana asurum bhavamashritah. So he talks about people, those who surrender to him, those who don't surrender to him. Then there are many more details in this chapter. Then Krishna comes to the 8th chapter and describes how to attain the Supreme, how to attain the Lord, especially at the time of death. Very beautiful shlokas are there in this chapter. How to attain the spiritual world. Antakale cha mameva smaran muktva kalevaram yah prayati samadbhavam yati nastyatra samshayah. One who remembers me at the time of death will attain me. What if someone remembers something else? Yam yam vapi smaran bhavam tyajatyante kalevaram. If you remember something else, you will attain that. If you remember Krishna, you will attain Krishna. But how to remember Krishna every time? Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu mamanusmara yudhyacha mayyarpitamano buddher mame vaishyasya samshayah. To be able to remember Krishna at the time of death, you should remember Krishna throughout your life. So although you are fighting, you remember me. Fight as an offering to me. Mayyarpitamano buddhir, offer your mind to me, offer your intelligence to me, and work. That's the essence. Then Krishna further talks about path of light and path of darkness, or path of sun and path of moon. And in the 8th chapter, Krishna also says that bhakti is the easiest process. Sulabham, word he uses. Bhakti is the easiest way to attain Krishna. There are some people who give up their bodies during the Krishna Paksha, and some give up their bodies during the Sukla Paksha. Some in Dakshinayana, some in Uttarayana, some in daytime, some in nighttime. Some go to sun planet. Via sun planet, they go to Brahman. That is path of no return. And some go to moon planet, but they will come back. Right? But devotees, whenever they give up their bodies, whether it's in Uttarayana or Dakshinayana, Sukla Paksha or Krishna Paksha, Monday or Sunday, they will definitely attain the Lord, irrespective of when they are doing what, when they are leaving their bodies. That is attaining the Supreme. Therefore perform bhakti. Vedeshu yagneshu tapassu chaiva dhaneshu yat punya phala pratishtam. Atyeti tat sarva vidam viditva yogi param sthanam upaiti chadyam. Vedeshu, what you get by studying the Vedas. Yagneshu, what you get by performing sacrifices. Tapassu chaiva, what you get by doing tapasya, austerities. Dhaneshu, what you get by offering charity. Yet punya phala pratishtam. Whatever punya, whatever pious credits you get by doing all these traditional, conventional Vedic methods, you will get all of that by performing bhakti, and you will get much more than that. Atyeti tat sarvamidam viditva yogi param sthanam upaiti chadyam. Therefore you perform bhakti. Krishna establishes bhakti once again. Then in the 9th chapter, Krishna again speaks about his powers. First Krishna says, my dear Arjuna, I am giving this confidential knowledge to you, king of all knowledge to you, Raja Vidya, Raja Guhyam, Pavitra Uttamam. I am doing this for you because you are my dear friend. You are my dear devotee. You have no asuya. Anasuya ve. Idam tute guhyatamam pravakshyam yanasuya ve. I am giving this guhya knowledge, confidential knowledge to you because there is no asuya. There is no envy in your heart. And you are my devotee, you are my friend. Not many people can understand this. Manushyanam sahasreshu kaschit yatat siddhaye. Yatatamoki siddhanam kaschin mam vetti tattvatah. To understand Krishna is very rare. Then Krishna talks how he is all-pervading throughout the universe. Then Krishna says how mudhas, means foolish people, cannot understand him. When Krishna descends in the form of a human being, foolish people cannot understand him. But who can understand him? Mahatmas can understand him. Then Krishna says, please repeat after me. Mahatmanastu mam partha Daivim prakritim ashritah bhajantyananya manaso Natva bhutadimam vyayam. Mahatmas are those people who take shelter of Srimati Radharani, Devi Prakriti. Devi Prakriti, Srimati Radharani. They are Mahatmas. Bhajanti ananya manaso, by taking shelter of Srimati Radharani, they serve Krishna ananya manasa, without any distractions in their mind. Gnatva bhutadimam vyayam. They also understand Krishna as the supreme source of everything. Then Krishna says about further activities of Mahatmas. What else do they do? Apart from knowing Krishna as the Supreme Lord and worshipping Him under the shelter of Radharani, they constantly chant Krishna's name, Satatam Kirtayanto Mam. That's another activity that they do. Then, moving ahead, fast forwarding the chapter a little more, we come to the most essential shlokas of this chapter. Patram pushpam phalam toyam yo me bhaktya prayanchati. How simple bhakti is. You just offer some flower or fruit or leaf or water to Krishna. Krishna is pleased. If you can't do that with pure devotion, with selflessness, at least whatever you are doing, you offer it to Krishna. Yat karoshi yadashnashi yad jihoshi dadasi yad tapassasi kaunteya tat kurushamadarpana. Let's make an offering to Krishna. What if a devotee does some mistakes while performing bhakti? Krishna will forgive us. Right? Krishna explains the simplicity of bhakti yoga, and Krishna also explains how accommodative he is. Apichet suduracharo bhajate mamananya bhak. Even if somebody is very abominable in their actions, if he holds on to Krishna's lotus feet, Krishna will definitely accommodate him, forgive his mistakes, provided he doesn't repeat, of course. Then, at the end of this chapter, Krishna says, Manmana bhava madbhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru. This is the essence of the essence of the essence of the essence of the Bhagavad Gita. All the scriptures. Manmana, always think of me. Bhava madbhakto, become a devotee. Madhyaji, worship me. Mam namaskuru, offer obeisances to me. That's how Krishna concludes the 9th chapter. And in the 10th chapter, at Arjuna's request, Krishna further explains his vibhutis, how everything came from Krishna. Everything in the entire creation manifested from Krishna. He says, I am the source of everything. Ahamadir hi devanam harshinam cha sarvashah. Nameviduhu suraganaha prabhavam maharshayah. My greatness, even rishis and devatas also cannot understand. They came from me. Then Krishna speaks 4 very, very essential shlokas. These 4 we will not avoid, we have to do it. He says, Aham sarvasya prabhavo mattah sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajante mam buddha bhava samanvitah. Aham sarvasya prabhavo, everything came from me. Mattah sarvam pravartate, I am the origin of everything. Iti matva bhajante mam, one who understands this fact and worships me. Buddha bhava samanvitaha, by using his intelligence and also developing emotions, bhava, for Krishna. He is very advanced. What are the symptoms of such advanced devotees? Krishna says in the next shloka, that is 10.9. He says, Macchitta madgata prana bodhayantaha parasparam kathayantascha mam nityam tushyanti jaravanti cha. Those who offer their mind and hearts to me, lives to me, they sit together and enlighten each other. They discuss about me. They teach about me to each other. That's how they spend their time. As devotees, all of us have to come together and discuss about Him. Whether you understand or not, whether you are able to follow it or not, if you just happen to spare your time to hear about the Lord, to chant the names of the Lord, then the medicine of Harikatha impacts our consciousness. Sometimes when we are chanting, we may not be able to relish the process of chanting. Sometimes we may feel bored, we may feel tired, we may doze off. Still we should chant. Sometimes when we are hearing, we may not be able to understand everything. Shravanam and Kirtanam are the basic process. Chanting and hearing are the basic processes of bhakti. But while doing so, we may not relish, we may not understand, we may not be absorbed. But still, we should do it because that's having a subtle impact on our consciousness. Every patient, does he understand the ingredients of a medicine? Does he understand why this medicine is prescribed? But still, by taking the medicine, he gets cured. Consciously or unconsciously, he is taking the medicine. Eventually, he is getting purified. So, same is with Krishna Katha also. Same is with chanting also. So, let's come together and discuss Harikatha. Then Krishna says, Tesham satata yuktanam bhajatam pritipurvakam dadami buddhi yogam tam yena mam upayantite. One who constantly engages oneself in Krishna's service, bhajatam pritipurvakam, one who lovingly serves him, Krishna gives them the intelligence to come to him. Dadami buddhi yogam tam yena mam upayantite. I give them the necessary intelligence so that they can come to me. He will help us. Then Krishna says, Tesham evanukampartha aham ajnanajam tamaha nashayami atma bhavastu jnanadipena bhasvata. Out of my special compassion upon these people, anukampartha, aham ajnanajam tamaha. I will destroy their ajnana, their ignorance by lighting the lamp of knowledge in their hearts. Then Arjuna says, Krishna, you are establishing your greatness so much. Not only you, so many other people also mentioned Asita Devala Vyasa. Now you are able to understand Param Brahma Param Dhama Pavitram Paramam Bhavan. You are supreme, and many other sages also have acknowledged this fact. But I have one request. What is that? You spoke about your vibhutis. You spoke how everything emanated from you. I want to hear more about how you are all pervading throughout this existence. You are all pervading, you are spread everywhere, in every nook and corner. Of course, in 7th chapter you gave a glimpse. I want you to elaborate on it even more. Then Krishna talks about his vibhutis. He says, it's very difficult to explain all my vibhutis, but I'll explain only the pradhanya, the prominent ones. Then he says, Rudranam Sankarasya and all that. Pranamaha Sarva Vedeshu. Shabdaha ke Paurusham Rishu, Prahaladasya Daityanam, very long list of vibhutis. At the end, Krishna says, Yadyad vibhuti vat sattvam Srimadhurjita mevava Tattadeva vagachatvam mama tejomsa sambhavam. Why speak about all these details, Arjuna? Whatever beautiful, grand and majestic you see in this world is just a spark of my splendor. Don't worry. Krishna says that it's a spark of my splendor. Then in the 11th chapter, Arjuna had another request. Krishna, you spoke a lot about your vibhutis. Can you show me? Visually, I want to see. Then Krishna says, Pashyame yogameshwaram. Behold my mystic opulence, O Arjuna. Behold my mystic opulence. Then he displays two forms. One is Vishwarupa, second is Kalarupa. Vishwarupa means he shows everything in the entire universe at one place. It's not 3D, it's not 4D, it's not 10D, it's infinite D. Whichever direction you see, you will only see Krishna's faces. East or west or north or south or top or bottom or left or right, wherever you see, you will only see Krishna's faces, Krishna's hands and legs and everything. Entire, whatever is there in the entire universe is conceived to be or is perceived to be a limb of Krishna's body. Entire universe. That is called Vishwarupa. Then Krishna shows Kalarupa. What is Kalarupa? The form of time. Vishwarupa is universal form, where everything in the space, everything in the universe is seen, displayed in front of his eyes. Kalarupa means all the effects of time are displayed in front of him. Past, present and future. Arjuna could even see the future outcomes of this Kurukshetra battle. This Kalarupa has so many faces. Aneka bahu daravaktra netram pashyavitvam sarvato nantarupam nantam na madhyam na punastavadim pashyami vishveshwara vishwarupam. Aneka bahu daravaktra netram. He has so many bahus, so many arms, udara, so many bellies, vaktra, so many faces, netram, so many eyes, decoration. And he also says, Damshtra Karale Anajate Mukhani, means from the faces of Kala Rupa, fire is emanating, and all the prominent warriors of this Kurukshetra battle, like Bhishma, Drona, Karna, all these people, they're entering that mouths of Kala Rupa into the fire. Some are entering like rivers enter ocean, and some are entering like moths enter fire. There's a significant difference between these two comparisons. When moths are entering fire, they are entering for self-destruction. That's the villains in the Kurukshetra battle. But when water enters ocean, means the river enters the ocean, it's like natural destination for the river. When Bhishma is entering fire, or Drona or some other good people are entering fire, that means they're reaching Krishna, they're attaining Krishna. There's Arjuna sees the Kala Rupa. Then Arjuna sees this ghastly form of time and says, Krishna, who are you? What's your mission? I can't understand. Who are you? Then Krishna says, Kalosmi lokakshayat krit pravruddho lokan samahartamita iha pravruddha. So, Kalosmi, I am the factor of time. My mission is to destroy everything material. Ritevitvam na bhavishyanti sarve, except you people, you Pandavas, righteous Pandavas, every adharmic person in the entire battlefield of Kurukshetra will be destroyed. If you destroy everyone, what am I supposed to do? Arjuna says. He kind of indicates. Then Krishna says, Nimittamatram bhavasavya tasmatva uttishta yasholabhasva jitva shatrun bhukshvarajyam samruddham mayai vaite nihataha purvameva nimittamatram bhavasavya sachin. Tasmatva uttishta, get up, Arjuna. Yasholabhasva, gain fame. Jitva shatrun, conquer your enemies. Bhukshvarajyam samruddham, enjoy a prosperous kingdom. Mayai vaite nihataha purvameva, by me all these people have already been killed. And what am I supposed to do? Nimitta matram, you just act as my instrument, a tool in my hands. Bhava savyasachin, you may be sabyasachi. Means you are able to release arrows from both of your hands. That's fine, but you are my instrument. Even if you have the ability to use 100 instruments, you yourself are an instrument in my hands. Then Arjuna says, thank you for that. But please withdraw this form. I can't see it. Close this darshan, please. I want to see your four-handed form, simpler form, then two-handed form. And Krishna reveals. Then finally, Krishna says, whether it is my 1,000-handed Vishwarupa form or Kala Rupa form, or four-handed Vishnu Rupa, or two-handed Krishna Rupa, bhakti is required to see any of these forms. Mat karma krinmat paramo mad bhaktaha sangavarjitaha nirvairaha sarva bhuteshu yaha samameti pandava. Mat karma krun, you perform my work. Mat paramo, consider me as the supreme. Mad bhaktaha sangavarjitaha, you give up all your attachment, become my devotee. Nirvairaha sarva bhuteshu, don't envy anyone. Then you will come back to me. That's how he concludes the 11th chapter. It has 55 shlokas, long one. Then in the 12th chapter, that has only 20 shlokas, Krishna describes 3 points. One is, Krishna says, in response to Arjuna's question, of course, some people worship the impersonal aspect of the Lord. For them, it's very difficult. The path is difficult. The destination is very not so exciting. Kleshodhikatarastesham avyakta asakta chetasam avyakta hi gatir dukkham dehavat bhirvapyate. Those who worship the Supreme as impersonal, for them there is difficulties throughout the path and only they get Brahma Jyoti. But for devotees, it's very easy. And Krishna says in the next section that Mayyeva mana adhatsva mayi buddhim niveshaya, means you connect with me through your emotions. The topmost level of bhakti is to connect with Krishna through emotions. That is called smaranatmika bhakti, having loving emotions for him. The next level is mananatmika bhakti, means connecting with the Lord through your intelligence. Intellectually understanding his godhood, that is second level. But having deeper emotional bonding is the top level. But if you can't do these two also, then connecting with the Lord through your senses, hands and legs, that is practical. This is called abhyasa rupa bhakti. The basic level is you serve the Lord, mind is somewhere else. Intellectually you may not understand his tattva, and mentally you may not have great emotions for him, but you are working for him, you are using your senses. It could be cooking or it could be making garlands or whatever. But higher than that is to understand his divinity with your intelligence. And much higher than that is to develop a deep emotional bonding with him, to have developed love and affection for him. He describes the different levels of bhakti. Then Krishna describes different qualities of a bhakta. What are different qualities of a devotee? Humility, compassion, gratitude, satisfaction, non-enviousness, tolerance, respect. Then he gives a big list of qualities that endear a devotee to Krishna. Being friendly, not holding any grudge or jealousy or hatred towards anyone. All this. That's how 12 chapters are complete. In the 13th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna focuses only on 6 terms. 6. He explains 6 words. What are they? Kshetra, Kshetrajna. Purusha, Prakriti. Then Jnana and Jneya. Kshetra means this body. Kshetrajna means the knower of the body. One knower is the soul. Second knower is the super soul. The soul only knows one body, but the super soul knows all bodies. Right? Then comes Jnana, means knowledge. Knowledge means knowing the soul and super soul. Knowing matter, then soul, then the super soul. That is knowledge, complete knowledge. Matter, spirit, and controller of both. MSc, Prabhupada says. Then that's about Jnana. Jnana means that which is worth knowing. That's again this knowledge of soul and super soul only. Then Krishna also talks about Purusha and Prakriti. Prakriti is the material nature. Purusha can refer to the Lord and the living being both. Lord is the supreme Purusha, but sometimes the living entity is also called Purusha in this world because the living entity wants to imitate the Lord. He has a tendency to control this material nature. He feels like I am the master, I am the controller, I am the proprietor. So because of that mentality, Purusha Bhava, sometimes the Jiva is also considered Purusha. Okay. It's getting intense, right? What to do? That's a task you have given me. So this is 13th chapter. In the 14th chapter, Krishna talks about 3 modes. What are they? Sattva, Rajas, Tama. Sattva guna is mode of goodness where somebody is illuminated by knowledge and happiness. Tatra sattvam nirmalatvat prakashakavanamayam sukha sangena badhanati gnana sangena chanagha. Sattva guna is characterized by knowledge and happiness, and people are born with that knowledge and happiness. Sattva. Rajas means intense ambition, intense desire. Tamas means ignorance, bewilderment. And Krishna analyzes these 3 modes in the 14th chapter. But how to come out of these modes? Mam chayo vyabhicharena bhakti yogena sevate sagunan samatityaitan brahma bhuyaya kalpate. Mam chayo avyabhicharena bhakti means one who does unflinching devotional service can come out of the influence of 3 modes. Then in the 15th chapter, Krishna compares this material world with an upside down banyan tree. And he also says how to cut this banyan tree of material world with the acts of detachment and surrender to Krishna. And what is the process of surrender? Nirmana moha jita sanga dosha adhyatma nitya vinivritta kama dvandvair vimuktaha sukha dukkha samyair gacchantya mudhaha padamavyayam tat. Nirmana moha, nirmana, no mana, no false prestige, moha, no illusion. Jita sanga dosha, you have conquered the sanga dosha, means all the faults of bad association. You overcame that false or bad association. Nirmana moha jita sanga dosha adhyatma nitya. Be situated in spiritual consciousness always. Vinivritta kamaha. Be devoid of all kama, unnecessary desires. Dvandvair vimuktaha. Freed from dualities. Sukadukka samyair. Including happiness and distress. Gachanti amudhaha padamavyayam tat. Such a person can ascend to the supreme abode of the Supreme Lord. Right? That's a process of surrender. That's a process of attaining the Supreme Lord. What is the nature of that abode of the Supreme Lord, which we are aiming to attain? Na tadbhasayate suryo na shashanko na pavakaha yadgatva na nivartante tadhama paramam mama. There, in the spiritual world, in Krishna's abode, no sun, no moon. That abode is not illuminated by sun and moon or fire or electricity purposes. They are all self-illuminated. Then Krishna says many other things, but one important thing is how he stays as super soul within the hearts of all living beings. Sarvasya chaham hriti sannivishtam mattah smritirjnanam apohanam cha. How Krishna maintains the universe. Krishna maintains the living entities by being the super soul in their hearts. Krishna also maintains the whole universe by giving them the necessary, giving everything in the universe necessary nourishment. For example, vegetables. Krishna becomes the moonshine and nourishes all the vegetables. Once you eat the vegetables, Krishna becomes Vaishvanara. Aham Vaishvanaro bhutva praninam dehamashritaha. He becomes the digestive fire and digests all the food that you have eaten. Thus, we are always dependent on the Lord. Then Kshara, Akshara, if we go enter to that, we cannot enter other chapters. Then 16th chapter, Krishna differentiates between divine and demoniac natures. Divine nature means people who are endowed with great qualities. Teja kshama dhritis chaucha adroho natimanita bhavanti sampadam daivi abhijatasya bharata. Means brilliance. Kshama, forgiveness. Dhriti, fortitude. Shaucham, cleanliness. Adroho, they don't harm anyone. Na atimanita, no false prestige. Bhavanti sampadam daivi abhijatasya bharata. This is the sampada. This is the wealth of daivi people, means divine people. Then what about demoniac people? Oh, demoniac people. Dambho darpo bhimanasya krodha parushyam cha ajnanam cha abhijatasya partha sampadam asurim. That is their wealth. What is dambha? Pride. Darpa, arrogance. Abhiman, parushyam, krodha, anger, and false, harsh speech, rude speech. All these are characteristics of demoniac people. And what will happen to them? They become very greedy to attain so much of wealth and prestige in this world, and they exploit people. They will be thrown into hell. Life after life, they will suffer so much. That is the whole thing of saga of demoniac people. So Krishna finally advises us two things. Number one, you need to give up these demoniac qualities, especially three, because these three take us to hell. What are they? Trividham naragasyedam dvaram nashanamatmanah kamah krodhas tatha lobhah tasmadetattrayam tyajet. There are three gateways to hell. That is kama, desire, krodha, anger, and greed, lobha. We should give them up. Then do what? Take shelter of scriptures. If you don't take shelter of scriptures and behave whimsically, no happiness in this world, no perfection in the next world also. He says, Yaha shastra vidhi mutsrujya vartate kamakartah nasasiddhim avapnoti nasukham naparangatim. One who gives up shastra vidhis, vartate kamakartah, one who behaves whimsically, Nasa siddhima vapnoti, no perfection for them either in this world or in the next. Therefore, tasmat shastram pramanam te, please follow the shastras. Karya karya vyavasthitam. Only by following the shastras you will understand what is to be done, what is not to be done. Then Arjuna had a question in the beginning of the 17th chapter. He says, Krishna, what if someone has a faith which is not scriptural? You said you should have faith in scriptures. But if I have faith in something else, which is not scriptural, then what is that? Like, for example, if I have faith in my pen, because in my last exam I wrote with this pen, I got great marks. So every exam, if I write with this pen, I will get the best marks. If I have faith like that, non-scriptural faith, or faith in some kind of so-called pseudo-spiritualist in this world, then Krishna says one's faith can be ascertained by many things in this world, according to their modes. Which modes are they influenced with? Then Krishna describes foods in 3 modes, and then speech, and yajna, dana, tapa in 3 modes. Yajna means sacrifice in 3 modes. Dana, charity in 3 modes. Tapa, austerity in 3 modes. And 3 types of austerity. Austerity of speech, austerity of body, austerity of mind, all that he says. Austerity of speech is very important, popular, which is, what is austerity of speech? Vacho, no. Anudvegakaram vakyam satyam prihitam chayat swadhyaya abhyasanam chaiva vangmayam tapa uchyate. Not speaking agitating words, satyam, speaking truthfully, and reading shastra, all these are part of austerity of speech. Then Krishna elaborates on different, how yajna, dana, tapa, or sacrifices and austerities all are influenced by 3 modes. You can see the details. Now last chapter. What's the time now? Last chapter. 18th chapter. Krishna continues to describe intelligence in 3 modes, doer in 3 modes, work in 3 modes, performer of work in 3 modes, determination in 3 modes. Like that, half of the chapter he speaks this only. Then finally, Krishna says, Bhaktyama, and he also describes the 4 varnas, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, how they are influenced with different modes. Who is a Brahmana? One is predominantly in Sattvaguna with little bit of Rajoguna. Who is a Kshatriya? One is predominantly in Rajoguna with little bit of Sattva. Who is Vaishya? One is predominantly in Rajoguna with little bit of Tama. Shudra is one who is predominantly in Tamoguna with some bit of Rajas. It's not about their birth, it's about their quality, their work and their nature, and what mode are they influenced with, gunas. Then Krishna says, Bhaktyamam abhijanati, to understand me, you need to have bhakti. Only devotees can understand me. Then Krishna says, I am there as super soul within the heart. Then finally Krishna says, I spoke whatever I had to speak. I spoke karma yoga, jnana yoga, bhakti yoga, ashtanga yoga, all that. Now you decide. Vimrsheta sesation. You deliberate on all whatever I have spoken and you come to a conclusion. Then Arjuna says, again deliberate. It's like, although we spoke for 1 hour, maybe most of it is overhead transmission, right? I can see from your faces. But I did my duty, my dharma. Similarly, Arjuna also could not figure out completely. You only tell Baba. You tell me what am I supposed to do. I will follow that. Karishya vachanam tava. Then Krishna says, whether you understand all these pages or not, just understand these last 2 shlokas. Manmana bhava mad bhakto madhya jivam namaskuru. He said in 9th chapter, he repeated it again here. If you just do these 4 things, manmana, remembering me, bhava mad bhakto, becoming my devotee, madhyaji, worshipping me, mam namaskuru, offering obeisances to me, you'll come to me. This is my pratigna. Prachijanya priyosmi. You are very dear to me. I am giving this promise to you. Then one more thing you need to do. That is 18.66. He says, Sarva dharman parityajya mamekam sharanam vraja aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshayishyami ma shuchah. Give up all the dharmas that you have concocted, or you have imagined to be your dharmas, or those dharmas that have been imposed upon you, or those which are temporary dharmas. It could be Kshatriya dharma or Brahmana dharma, it could be Brahmachari dharma or Grihastha dharma, or it could be your Samanya dharma, Udyoga dharma, Kutumba dharma, Varna dharma, Ashrama dharma, keep aside everything. They are valid, fine, but they are not as valid as what I am going to speak in the second line. What is that? Mamekam sharanam vraja. Taking my shelter is the supreme dharma. Whether you have understood whatever we spoke in the last 50, 60 minutes or not, just understand this one shloka, that's enough. That is Krishna's words, not only my words. I'm just repeating his words. Just understand these two shlokas, Manmana Bhava Madbhakto, then Sarvadharman Parityajya. I said, right? The upper lid is the Jnana Yoga section, and top of this upper lid there are two jewels. And these two jewels are these two shlokas, 18.66 and 65. So Sarva Dharman Parityajya, give up all your dharmas. Mamekam Sharanam Vraja, surrender unto me. What about my sinful reactions? Aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshayishyami. I will relieve you from all sinful reactions. Ma shuchaha, don't worry. But just think about it. Bhagavad Gita is supposed to be dharmic scripture. At the end of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Sarva Dharman Parityajya. Give up all your dharmas. Some people are confused. Give up all dharmas? Krishna is not saying give up all dharmas. He is saying go up in dharma. Not giving up dharma, going up in your understanding of dharma. Yes, you may have certain dharma, understanding of dharma. Dharma means duty. Dharma means virtues, values, morals, ethics, principles. Dharma means my Kshatriya duty, my Vaishya duty. Dharma is religion. Different people have different understandings of dharma. All these are valid also, we don't deny that. But there is a dharma which is on the spiritual plane. All these dharmas are prominent on a material plane. Whether it is your duty as a family member or duty as an employee of a company, all these dharmas have a beginning, have an ending. As a student, your dharma is to study, but that ends at some point. You'll become a teacher, then you have to teach. That may also end, you may retire as a teacher. So all these dharmas have a beginning point and an ending point. But what is that eternal dharma? What is the supreme dharma? What is that dharma which never leaves the soul? But above all these definitions of dharma, the most important and essential definition of dharma is the intrinsic and natural characteristic of a living being or a thing is dharma. Water's dharma is to be wet. Have you ever seen a dry water? Did you ever touch dry water? Did you ever touch cool fire? Anyone? Cool fire. But one person touched cool fire. One person is burnt by cool fire. You know who is that? No. Tell me the reference. Hanuman. Fire is set and Hanuman's tail is feeling cool. As if ice is tied there on his tail. So, but generally fire is hot. That is its dharma. Water is wet. That is its dharma. Sugar is sweet. That is its dharma. Salt is salty. That is its dharma. Did you ever taste a sweet salt? A sweet chili? Or a very spicy sugar? The sugar is very spicy. Did you ever? Because that's the nature of sugar to be sweet. Similarly, what is the nature of soul? What is the intrinsic characteristic of soul? To love Krishna, to serve Krishna, to take shelter of Krishna. That is the ultimate dharma. Krishna says, accept this dharma. Give up all other dharmas and accept this dharma. That's what Krishna said. Sarva dharman parityajya mamekam sharanam vraja. Arjuna, at the end of Bhagavad Gita, he said, Karishya vachanam tava. Yes, I will do what you say. Not because he understood that I am a Kshatriya now. In the first chapter, he forgot that he is a Kshatriya. By the 18th chapter, he remembered that he is a Kshatriya. Therefore, he is doing his Kshatriya duty to fight. Arjuna did not just do Kshatriya dharma. Arjuna's fight is not Kshatriya dharma, it is Bhakti dharma. It is his eternal dharma. How? Why did Krishna descend on this planet? Paritranaya sadhanam, we discussed. Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkritam dharma samsthapanarthaya. That is the purpose. Now, as a devotee, Arjuna is supposed to assist Krishna in fulfilling the three purposes of his descent. Krishna did some paritranaya sadhanam, now Arjuna also has to do something. Krishna, you protected righteous people, let me protect now. Or you want me to protect now. You did Vinashaya Dushkritam by killing Potana, Aghasur, Bakasur, Sakatasur, Vatsasur, Vimasur. As your devotee, you are giving me also service. I need to eliminate these people like Bhishma, Drona, Karna, Shukuni, who have taken side of adharma. That is his duty. So he also is supposed to do Paritranaya Sadhana Vinashaya Dushkritam. He also is supposed to rule or assist his brother in ruling Hastinapur kingdom and establish dharma. So, serving Krishna, participating in Krishna's mission is the dharma of a devotee. It's a natural characteristic of a devotee. That's how Bhagavatam begins. Sai pumsam paro dharmo yato bhakti radhokshaji. Ahituki apratihata yatma suprasidati. The supreme dharma of all living entities is to serve Krishna. That's what Krishna said at the end of Bhagavad Gita. If you don't understand Karma Yoga, if you can't follow Karma Yoga, don't worry, it's okay. If you can't understand or follow Ashtanga Yoga, absolutely no problem. It's not meant for you. Prabhupada negates the purports also, negates the shlokas also. Krishna says, Suchadesha Pratishtapya, you have to sit on a seat which is not high, too low, and you have to half close your eyes, focus on the tip of the nose. Prabhupada says, you can't do all that, forget it, chant Hare Krishna. That is your dharma. So, this is the conclusion of Bhagavad Gita. Now, if somebody is on that level of Mamekam Sharanam Raja, then where are papas for him? Is there any scope of having sinful reaction? Why Krishna is saying in the second half, Mokshayishyami mashacha aham tvam sarva papebhyo. If he did Mamekam Sharanam Raja, where is aham tvam sarva papebhyo? Where is papa there? This pap is not exactly sinful reaction. This pap is any obstacle in the path of bhakti. I will remove all the obstacles in the path of your bhakti. You just take my shelter. That's all. Just like Prahlad Maharaj took shelter of Krishna and and Krishna removed all the obstacles on his path. Hiranyakashipu is trying to cause so much disturbance in Prahlad Maharaj's life, and Krishna protected him, Vishnu protected him. So, the ultimate message of Bhagavad Gita is sincerely take shelter of Krishna. Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.